The squad denounces Trump's attacks as an intentional distraction. In an extraordinary rebuke, the House voted to condemn President Trump's attacks against 4 congresswomen of color as racist. The measure, which, in a cabinet meeting earlier Tuesday, the president again defended his original tweet telling the progressive lawmakers to go. Below are excerpts from that conversation. On Trump's racist tweets this. King quoting the president yesterday, "You all are people who hate our country with a passion. You hate Jewish people." Ocasio-Cortez, "I think that America has always been a story, and America has always been about the triumph of people who fight for everyone versus those who want to preserve rights for just a select few. And there is no bot." Presley, "We can talk about and spin out on hate, about hateful words which are a predictable prompt by the occupant of this White House. And I call him King, but it sounds like you don't have respect for the Oval Office when you call the President of the United States the occupant." Presley, "No, because he is only occupying the space. He does not embody." King, "What did you think when you heard the tweet?" TLAIV, "For me, I am hearing about this from folks saying, 'Did you see what the president just said?' at the same time that I am getting text messages from people saying, 'Rashida.' On being called a distraction, we." King, "It's interesting that you all use the word distraction, that he is trying to distract away from real issues. You know, it's Omar, the insinuation of that question in itself is a distraction. I think he wants you to focus on that, and you should be asking why is that we are being criticized. What is that we bring? TLAIV, I'll tell you what we bring." Omar, "Exactly. TLAIB, we're an extension of a movement in our country that wants Medicare for all, that wants us to end mass incarceration, that wants us to put Omar, and we are a disruption to the business as usual that's been Washington. Right? Presley, each of us represent very different districts, and each of us bring our unique and our authentic voice to this body. We govern in our own." King, "There is no insurgency here?" Presley, "There is no insurgency, and there's nothing conspiratorial. What we are 4
Raindrop, drop top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.